Hello everyone, welcome back to another playthrough of Tokyo Afterschool Summoners. We are going to be continuing the playthrough of Chapter 14. Let's do this. As usual, let me know if there's any sound issues beforehand. If not, then we can proceed safely. So, to give a quick recap, in the first episodes, as episodes 1 and 2, we had just actually created an exception. How was this done? It seems the entertainers orchestrated the collision of our sacred artifacts with Kirito's, as well as Kirito's was Bigfoot's. That may have caused 2 exceptions, or 1, it's not entirely clear right now. But it seems like we are going to be dealing with some omnipotent, omniscient being, as well as whoever Overlord is, which you may have seen some screenshots of them by now, based on the cover art for Chapter 14. Well, we'll start. Let us resume the story immediately after the creation of the exception, which is where it cut off. And welcome here, Trent, and on the arrival. Hey, there he is, Oscar, busted. Visitors for inspection. I must apologize for keeping you waiting for very long. I'm Oscar, the playwright, or dramatist, if you will, of this production, as well as guildmaster of the entertainers. I am ever so charmed to make your acquaintance, though fair warning, beneath this mask, I am not but a trickster. Maybe in this new look... sorry, I'm not used to Nyarlathov's voice. Maybe this new mask on my side too. What do you think? Nice to meet ya. Bad to see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. What, you say you think we haven't met before? No way, no how. Can't see it right now. No need to be rude just cause we're in masks. Let's be rude for rude's sake instead. Let's laugh together. Ready? Yeehaw! Splendid! I do always live for and in the moment. All the world's a stage, and we are all actors. The story is the life we live. Now then, without further ado, shall we get into it? The show must go on. Please explain what happened in the ending last time. The serial murderer, the Ripper, who once sent shockwaves through the foggy city where he targeted all those ladies of the night. Tales of his horrific exploits, perhaps the oldest media sensation of all time, grabbed the public's attention and simply would not let go. And the reason for this is that the perpetrator was never caught. A major part of this mystery's resolution has been left unwritten. It's a matter of intrigue. Who would read a mystery novel and enjoy trying to solve the case if the ending were already known? Having all the facts neatly lined up robs any mystery worth its salt of everything that makes it fun and enjoyable. If all the pieces fall into place and nothing defies expectations, then what's even the point anymore? I lost my family when I was very young, and not a single one of my relatives is left in this world. All that I've had since then is my dream to act upon the stage. Oh, pristine backstory. I did not expect that. I've wanted nothing more than to stand in the limelight and bathe in the cheers of a receptive audience. In all fairness, a dream like this should have been out of reach for me. But then, that person came along and made my dreams come true. I had little to my name, yet suddenly, my name was in lights. He gave me so many roles, so many stages to perform on. It's no exaggeration to say he gave me the will to live. And after each performance, he would present me with a bouquet of roses. Whenever I would hold them to my bosom, all my loneliness would disappear and I'd just be happy. And yet, one question kept nagging at me. Why? Why was he being so nice to me? A moment, please. You left these roses for me, did you not? Mononobe, I thought it was Oscar. Damn. There was one time when my curiosity got the better of me. I waited, and I confronted the person who left me roses that day. I see, so was this her time when she was introduced to the entertainers and Mononobe had recruited her to that? And do you know what he said to me? He was just filling in for that man. It was his agent. His proxy. That man had been watching me. He'd been watching me all this time from afar. He'd been all alone, but watching still. He's talking about Solomon, I believe. I wanted him to come see me perform in person someday. Tell me how much fun he had. So this is the reason why Christine wants to bring them? I mean, surely it's not just Christine's motivations to bring the exception of Solomon. Not through a representative, but with his own voice. His own words. I wanted to make his lonely existence a little less lonely. And so I devoted myself to my drama, with every fiber of my being. I devoted myself like no one ever has. And then, before I knew it, I became renowned as a great actress. I had taken my dream to its zenith. It was everything I'd ever wanted. Even to this day, there is no role I cannot play. My dream has come true. Aside from one part of it. I am Christine. I am a disciple, an apostle of the all-knowing one. I am an actor who adorns the stage that is Tokyo, bringing joy to all those who come to see me. And I continue to act solely for that man, the only one who's been watching me on stage all this time, without fail. So every show must be something unheard of, unprecedented, and never to be seen again. He deserves nothing less. It must be a spectacle like nothing anyone has ever known, and has been one of a kind. That's the goal. Are towns to burn? Islands to sink? The world to break apart? Stars to shatter? Ah, such banality. We've seen all that before. Things like that can happen over and over again on this stage. I seek to deliver even deeper entertainment. Something so perfect, so masterful, that there's no place left for art to go from then on in perpetuity. That is the one part of my wish that remains unfulfilled. It is my one last delight I've yet to craft. Somehow I'm still alive, I think. My underground. Beneath the opera house in Yuriko, hands and feet are bound. I'm locked up by myself. No, wait. Someone else. Someone else is here with me. Hello? For a second I thought it'd be Beowulf. Sorry, I thought it would be Arslan again. Hey, it's Loki! How's he sound again? Welcome, neighbor. It's starting to get real boring down here, so I'm glad for the company. Oh, you don't look so good. You look like you're in a real pain, I dare say. Worse for the wear than even I am. Oh, who are? Loki's the name. Hey, haven't we met somewhere before? Hey, I guess so. Loki, I came looking for you. Oh, I know. You're Oze. You're a spy for those agents who have portals in places like Asakusa and Nakano. This would be Odin. Our transient from Gehenna who serves as a proxy for Odin, the world representative from Yggdrasil. Or more accurately, you are entrusted with a piece of Odin's memory, and use your sacred artifact to represent his will. In short, you're a former soldier, or supreme ruler, with a crown that ensures anything its wearer says is believed by all. See, what I don't understand is how can someone from Gehenna end up taking such an important role from someone from Yggdrasil? Also, welcome, Jackie. So, how'd I do? How'd I do? Is my profile of you on point? Most of what he said is a matter of public record, but I am curious how you could possibly know the rest. I guess this is what I should expect of someone so thoroughly immersed in the administrative side of the entertainers. You've accessed my full profile on the app without authorization using administrative privileges, haven't you? I don't know. Maybe. So anyway, you said you were looking for me. Are you one of my more feisty groupies then? Don't play coy. I was led here in my pursuit of the truth about a great crime committed in Yggdrasil. Oh dear. Sounds like my adoptive family is up to no good, if you ask me. They truly have a way about them, don't they? So, what is this great crime? Sadly, I can think of far too many possibilities. I'll need some help narrowing it down. It's the crimes surrounding the entire world of Yggdrasil with the wall. Does that ring a bell, Loki? You surrounded all of Yggdrasil with a wall. Ooh, that's an interesting sprite. The world of Yggdrasil was supposed to perish in flames after we and fire giants brought Ragnarok upon it. Is that why it was resetting all this time with Surtur? I was wondering about that. I mean, I figured it was just this weird... Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, it flew over my head and I didn't think about it too deeply. But really, when the loop resets in Tokyo, it shouldn't be resetting everywhere, right? But for some reason, when Surtur's memories, it seems like Yggdrasil was also resetting perpetually. And from its ashes, a new world of humans was to rise. But thanks to you, that didn't happen. Unless Surtur's talking about the resetting of Ragnarok. I don't know. You completely surrounded Yggdrasil with a wall, turning it into a battle zone just like the one here in Tokyo. Okay, good to know. Also, I was always wondering about, like, we don't really know too much about the other worlds of Tokyo, rather. Not Tokyo, but, you know, the other worlds in general, the 23 other worlds. We know who their, you know, natives are, but we don't actually know what it's like. Apparently, they seem to obey app rules too, or in very least, they seem to obey the procedure of the battle zones, which should only be a game thing. So maybe the game extends not just within Tokyo, but also to the other 23 worlds within the worlds. Who knows? And so that world began to loop. The old world's end and its future, that of humans, never came to be. The prospects for humans to live a prosperous life there, gone. A human king who should have stood at the summit of that world, gone. You stole the human's future. In a way, it's a crueler fate than even genocide. That's not a crime to end all crimes. Then what is? And I say you because there is no one else possessing the means to pull off such a crime but you, Loki. You're the one with the sacred artifact made to build that wall around Midgard so long ago. No one else has anything like it. And it's not just Yggdrasil. I strongly suspect you're involved with the wall surrounding Tokyo too. Ooh. We're finally getting some answers on that. It was in Kengo's Dungeon that we actually learned about the wall surrounding Tokyo just a tiny bit more. Apparently, the wall itself is Jormungandr, which is a bit weird. I don't know what to think about that, but apparently it's not so straightforward of just leaving the walls. There seems to be something about it that people believe it's indestructible, therefore it's indestructible. So the belief system also applies to the enclosing material itself. So Loki, do you have any defense? Any retort at all? That was an act worthy of Odin himself. It's almost like he was possessing you. But I'm sorry to say, you don't need to pretend you know more than you do to save face with me. I don't know if that kind of... No, you're just Ose. Ozzy. What? Have you somehow circumvented the effects of my sacred artifact? You don't need to pretend you know more than you do to save face with me. This tongue of mine can help lap away any deceit, pretense, or subterfuge. That makes me a particular danger to this Tokyo, which is why I'm all chained up here like this. So, Aze, do you think you're ready? Ready to deal with this tongue of mine? The real bastion of freedom, getting even looser. You came to find me per your duties as Odin's proxy, I suppose. But why? Let me answer for you. It's because you just had nothing else to do, isn't it? Oh, he's saying, papa. Yeah. I forgot that was an expression I'm saying no. You're yielding your own actions to others, because somewhere deep inside you, you're just not sure where to go anymore. Odin was the same way once, and he was awarded omniscience in the waters of Miss Bakurunan, and never lost his way again. Was the question getting answered? No matter how big a mystery, it's quicker to solve it like that than to think about it. Problem is, that's a dead end. Do you get why? I'm saying that there's just no future there. Oze, the former great ruler of hell itself, huh? Some ruler. Loki follows a snide remark by staring intently at Oze's eyes, then sticking out his tongue. You're a little more than a soldier who can't find anything else to do but follow whatever directives are given to him. So is that the reason why he's under Idrisel's orders? But that's the reason why you're working as a spy here in Tokyo. Since that's kind of what spies are all about. Effectively, there's not much separating you from the petty officers of those high and mighty rule makers. Loki continues prattling on and on, viciously dressing down his opponent with his wicked tongue, seemingly enjoying every moment of it. Yo, Prisma. I am excited, I'm down for this lore. Our mission is to expose the stray transient unless we've been sent. This is the domain of the Rule Makers, the central of the three true guilds. The soldiers' advisors display the assigned role targets, and their equipment gives instructions on how to accomplish their tasks, optimized for each soldier's individual body type. Where to go, what to say, and even where to look is all strictly spelled out for each and every person. This is cooperation at the highest level. Personalized cooperation, where the individual is secondary to the end result. It's efficient, ruthless, and extremely efficient. Effective. The soldier is the nesting ground for the LifeWonders, so keep alert! Proceed to use 3 o'clock, soldiers. Ugh, crap. The central vanguard of the Rule Makers has spotted us. Senri jump scare. Facial recognition complete. Identified with 99% accuracy. Using fast data to predict actions and escape routes. Damn it. Oh, what now? There's no place to run. Stay where we are. Resistance is not recommended. We will all be restrained and taken into custody. Oh, hell, are they gonna take us in and brainwash us? We need to do something as inefficient as all that. Maybe there's some who's been subjected to such treatment among the new recruits I haven't gotten to know yet. But all we want to do is give you some new phones, just like this one. It's quite a remarkable device. It calculates your personal circumstances to tell you just what to do, to ensure better efficiency than yourself can achieve. And you understand, don't you? That's the best way to live your best life, to obey the rules and fit in with society. The soldier barely even considers what he's saying. His attention instead focused on the reward for a successful mission that's being displayed to him on his visor. The visor also displays the maximum possible rewards you can gain tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, along with the precise working hours needed to attain them all. Sounds like a corporate help. The artificial intelligent phone I create gets a feel for its user's peculiarities and comes up with the answers to any questions far better than those the user can come up with themselves. They don't have to be perfect answers or solutions, just better ones than a user could think about on their own. And that's the genius of my plan, see? It's the solution to bringing about the next great evolution for humanity. Right. We don't really know too much about the Rule Makers' plans, but it seems their rule is to be instructive. This was the hint with the philosophy, to be instructive and mentoring, I guess. Not really to consume, but more so to pass down knowledge. It seems that directly instructing them what to do might be what they're doing. And it's all my own work, differing greatly from the plans proposed by Isaac and Bertrand. And yet, compared to plans A and B, the limits to its scope have been apparent even from the very start. And therein lies the reason why Corinne was always ranked third among her fellow prodigies at the academy where they were raised. That's the limitations of someone like you, with nothing beyond your understanding. It truly is a dead-end street. I guess the limitation is they just, spit up, regurgitate what they were given, and not really have a mind of their own. When you're able to answer any question with conviction, you become unable to decide what you want to do and what you enjoy. Well, it's struggling to stay afloat in the sea of wisdom. You lose sight of where you are as a person. One goal this time. Oh, okay, this is a bit too real. This is actually kind of related to real life situations where you're just scrolling through a sea of information, absorbing everything online, all the news in the world, globalization essentially, and the problem with it when it comes to retaining your individuality and caring about anything. And in doing so, you lose your ability to live well, and your vitality with it. Putting the cart before the horse, as it were. And then you become just like Odin and the others, a know-it-all wasted by your own petard. Honestly though, Odin and his acolytes should be grateful, as far as I'm concerned. Rather than standing motionless, they at least get to run in a hamster wheel and feel like they're doing something, no? What is your motive in all this, Loki? What do you hope to gain? Let me try to put it in simplest possible terms for you. My motive is to have fun. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's the whole reason I'm that sketchy-ass liars. Well, that's why I followed the script provided by that guildmaster from Yorkshire, Oscar. That's why the Rule Makers and Entertainers formed an alliance in the first place, to fill in the holes in my plan C. Are they saying that because there's no purpose in, following orders if you don't know your own purpose, they cooperated with the entertainers so that they could fill that purpose to follow things by the script? Essentially, by following instructions perfectly, they could feel the enjoyment that actors can. I don't know. I'm just pulling things out of my ass, but that's my best interpretation. Rather than just hollowly following orders, you instead do it for entertainment, just like an actor would. Of course! If that's the case, then you can just leave everything to old Oscar here. I am, after all, little more than refuse, preoccupied with gleaning whatever pleasures and delights I possibly can. A little more than refuse? Yeah, there you go. But before that, you did ask me what happened next, I believe. So then, without further ado, let's get into it. The show must go on. Alright, back to here. What is happening? Did they actually summon someone? Ain't no way. What the? Kirito stands breathless and awestruck at the sight before him. And at that same moment... This should be Overlord. Yet another... I just realized he's doing like the fucking Nicki Minaj pose. Yet another non-existent comes into being there. It's the concept of lacking, in physical form. A tangible absence. There's nothing beyond it. It's a dead end so abrupt it chokes reality and allows no air to pass. We are Overlord, except for a utopia beyond this world. Utopia? So this is the first time I'm actually taking a good look at this sprite. I've never seen it that carefully before. I've only seen glimpses because, of course, I didn't want to be spoiled. Looks like it's made of many entities combined into one. Yeah, it's like kind of like a transformer, I guess. Interesting design. Chapter 15 has been released in Japanese, and no one who's doing playthroughs of it. I mean, I'm the only one among the English spheres doing actual playthroughs, unless you count the Hokusai English archives. If you're talking about Japanese playthroughs, I do know there's some Japanese YouTuber, Okuni something. Essentially, there's like they have like magenta hair and they wear a mask. It's like not in real life. They have like a model. What do you call it? A VTuber model. They do playthroughs of the story. The thing is, they started late, so they're doing like older playthroughs right now of like the past events, and I don't know if they're caught up with the main story, but maybe they are by now. Who knows? But they are definitely playing through that as well. That's, I think, the only Japanese YouTuber I know doing playthroughs of it. There might be other ones, but you know, they're the most interesting one, at the very least. That's actually doing a face cam, kind of, not really. Overlord. Wait, Utopia? But why? You thought of finding others could do that. Quite. I mean, isn't that much of a surprise? I mean, it's not like someone could translate it for you, even if you did find a playthrough. And if you did find someone who could translate it for you, then I mean, I guess more people would be watching them at that point. I think there's one person who did do translations before, Ayatoke or something. I don't know if they did playthroughs translations, but they do like special quest translations. But I believe they stopped making content quite a while ago. You know they don't translate, yeah, figured. So in terms of translations, you're just going to have to learn Japanese yourself, or know someone Japanese who also speaks English, which I don't think that's the kind of crowd they're trying to attract. Overlord ignores the question, merely continuing its trajectory as if it were never asked. Oh man, I wish I had some sort of filter for this.
After resolving what was still in time, we have understood reason. There is no further future beyond us. There is no evolution above us.
Is Overlord like a real fictional entity? That sounds weird, but does it exist beyond this? Like Ramu as well as Leviathan? That was a glimpse of us. Hey, there you are, little someone. Where you been?
Ah, Master! Oh, where have you gone, Master? Master's gone missing!
And Solomon's here. He's actually just here. What the fuck? He didn't even assemble all the cubes yet.
Huh? Wait. Isn't that Father?
I'm falling? Again, falling into what seems like an endless void. It just keeps stretching deeper and deeper, seemingly with no bottom. It's impossible to tell how much time has passed. Feels like a moment as it does an eternity. So if you're actually falling without any obstruction whatsoever, no wind resistance, then it's actually impossible to tell what direction you'd be falling. And yet, before you even know it, you've arrived. A vaguely familiar cityscape stretches out before you. Where am I? I should be in New York show, but this is definitely looking a bit much. What is the meaning of this? It's a bit too kinky for me. The scene stretching out before you looks post-apocalyptic, yet at the same time it resembles a matte painting of a ruined city that might be used in a play or movie that feels unreal. And exception territory? That's what I thought it was. No, this isn't like any of the others. Feels... What is this feeling? Nothing about this place feels right, but nor does it feel wrong. It's not heaven, but nor is it hell. The only feeling it conveys are those of confusion and uncertainty. Hey, it's Quantum, dead or alive. This for real? Interesting.
Oh, how long have you been there?
I didn't see you there at all.
Do you see me as being here then?
Ah, I'm so glad there's someone else here. But, what do you mean, do I see you? tiny transient's head simply cocks to one side in response to your question. So, who are you exactly, and where are we?
Exception? I feel like that's a very, very old term for someone of your age to be using. I am Quantum, I think. And this is a place where people come when they're not sure if they're alive or dead.
Okay, well, Quantum. There you go, that makes sense. Wait, alive or dead? So we're in the superposition room? It's kind of whack. Kind of pretty upper level. Well, maybe not upper level at this point, but like pretty abstract to be forming as a concept for fiction with regards to science. Missing Link, Part 2. Hey, it's Horus. Are we in the between? Maybe, but it doesn't look like it's some sort of purgatory. It looks more abstract than that, more modern. Maybe it's just a, you know, an amalgam of both those things. This is one of the 23 other worlds connected to Tokyo. It's the desert world of Aru, ruled by a system of judgment. Its world representative is Horus. Okay, my face is itchy with this fan. I'm gonna turn it off. Its world representative is Horus, who represents the will of the people through the meeting of fair and impartial judgments. But it wasn't always like that. In the beginning, the one who stood at the top of the world's hierarchy was not he, but his uncle. His uncle's name was Set, and he was the one and only great hero capable of defeating the powerful serpent of the Nether, Apophis. Young Horus at the time was infatuated with his brave uncle. He wished more than anything to join him. But his relatives had other plans. Horus had been raised to become Aru's next world representative, and much was expected of him as a result. A great divide was formed among Horus's relatives, and their fight was truly a spectacle to behold. Each side proclaimed its own stance, its own actions to be just and virtuous, while accusing the other side of underhandedly attempting to tarnish their reputation and legitimacy. In Norse mythology, Loki is a half-giant, half-god who caused trouble for the gods, but one of the first they helped. There's a lot to say about Loki that I'm sure a lot of people know about from other media. Even Horus himself, caught in the crossfire as the subject of this infighting, couldn't say for sure which claims they were and which were fabricated. Which were true and were fabricated. It was Horus's mother and those around her who created this scandal, while Horus himself largely having no say in its proceedings. In other words, he was mostly dragged into this mess by his family, and wound up becoming embroiled in a bitter feud with his uncle despite the tremendous respect he held for him. And at the end of all the political turmoil, Horus's uncle lost their fight, and was forced to bear the burden of all the sins associated with it, and exiled from the land altogether. But this just made Horus ask, why must his uncle bear all the blame for his family quarrel? It was all just a power struggle. There was no justice to be found here. His other relatives, and even he himself, should have been investigated and judged as well. But it was something else that left the biggest hole in Horus's heart. Something that weighed upon him much heavier. So he's an unwilling world representative, essentially. It wasn't that his uncle had been made a scapegoat for everything, but that he had been exiled for it. That he left, never to return. Meanwhile, Horus barely knew his right from his left, and was treated like an ignorant adolescent the whole time. And it's his own useful ignorance and inaction he truly can't abide. It's for this reason that Horus took on the duties of an officer for the Judicial Constabulary after coming to Tokyo. Fairy gods got to go help him and Odin's blood in the same stories like friends. I actually forgot, or rather I didn't realize that Horus was in good terms, was whoever it was, Set. He swears firmly that this time around he will step into the fire and give his uncle a fair and impartial judgment should the opportunity arise. And in doing so, he will show his uncle that he's no longer that clueless little kid he was in Aru. Ironically, it seems people in East Tokyo refer to one as being out of the loop when they are unable to contribute to the current situation or are forced to remain uninvolved. Oh, I see. And Horace is determined to prove to his uncle and to everyone else that he is no longer just a bystander. He's no longer out of the loop. Sorry to keep you waiting, Horace. Officer Horace. And Yokocho Chiyoda Ward, tucked away in the one corner of the district, stands the Judicial Constabulary Center for Missing Persons. And it's to this location that one transient officer has just returned, ducking under some police tape. Nobumichi Kenpachi and Kai reporting into the investigation at HQ, having just finished my witness interviews. Nice work, Officer Nobumichi. And good timing. Results just came in. Rule Makers Executive Horace punctuates his statement by slapping the thick sheaf of documents on a nearby desk. Officer Peanut Butter. I know that's a reference to that one TV show, but it's like... you know why they make the joke of dogs and peanut butters, right? I don't know if we should be calling them that. Straight from the hands of highly virtuous and winsome biomedical scientists who were all too happy to help us out. They trained their expert autopsy skills on remains we provided of the victim from these serial incidents in Yokocho. And to summarize our conclusion, it's exactly what we thought. There's no evidence to support any specific crime. Same story with my questioning. The transient victims of these crimes just don't seem to exist. No signs of them anywhere. I even used all the authority I had to thoroughly search each of the entertainment's portals, but found neither hide nor hair. Even if they'd thoroughly cleaned their trail, you'd still expect at least a little stench of them to linger. But no, nada. It's as if these victims weren't killed so much as speared out of existence entirely. I can't wrap my head around any of it. Officer Mumeiji, I have every confidence in our police force and in your investigative net. So if your canine instincts didn't detect any smell, that leaves only one conclusion here. And it's police training and application. I'm an officer, not a canine. Please don't attribute my success to the canine instinct. It was all done by the book, I assure you. Alright, he says in his research profile he wants to be known as a police officer dog, not a police dog, which are two different things. Sorry. No, I get what you're trying to say. Anyway, please continue. You said that leaves only one conclusion? Yes. But by my reasoning, I believe the victims are not of this world nor the next. They exist somewhere in between. Excuse me? It's a logical conclusion. By process of elimination, they must exist neither here nor there. So we're talking about the realm of in-between existences, which shouldn't be possible for a Boolean statement thing. Which is what causes the exception, the entire thing of superpositions. Interesting. I'm still not 100% clear on how Kirito's thing that can attack anything that doesn't exist in this world versus... okay, never mind. It's a direct... I just realized it's a direct power thing. So Kirito's power can harm anything not of this world, and it's the strongest of that. And essentially, Bigfoot's power was also not of this world, I guess, because Wakan Tonkamikan was dead. But his was also the strongest of all powers too. So it's essentially two ultimate powers. So it's a direct contradiction, I think. So I wish they'd explain these exceptions better. They did it very explicitly, almost to the death when it came to the first 3 chapters. But ever since the chapter 13 onward, they're just I don't even know. Did they explain Mahakawas? I don't even remember how Mahakawa... I think it was a confrontation between Shiva and us that caused the exception at some point. And I forgot how exactly that happened. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I am Quantum.
I think. And this place is a place where people come when they're not sure if they're alive or dead.
So, are you saying I'm neither dead nor alive right now?
My apologies to you.
The girl named Quantum does not address your question at all, and instead simply stares intently at you. So, Quantum, you okay? Something happened? Have we met somewhere, maybe?
I'm not certain. You just remind me of the first observer for whom I'd been searching for so long. But you're also different. Are you the self-same? Apparently not. Are you neither? I don't know. But I think you and I are two of a kind. And what are we talking about again? That's right. About where we are. Let's see. Are you from a utopia as I am? The answer would likely be apparent. This is the place beyond exception. It is where one falls when the safety net, the feel safe, does not catch them.
Safety net does not catch them. So we know that the exceptions are in the plane of nihility, and we're just in the regular realm. I guess is like in between.
Oh, but I'm a bit different. I was born someplace similar, you see. But while under observation by another, I went there and was lost. I searched all throughout Tokyo the whole time, but couldn't find that person, and perhaps simply thought to come back.
So you came from Tokyo and you lost your role?
Wait, it may be best to save this conversation for another time. Look, there are others who don't know if they're alive or dead staring at us.
Ooh, the missings. Missing jump scare. Where did they come from? Are they enemies or... Maybe Big fits the role for being all-powerful for Maka and Kirito's being powerless according to him created the exception. That would be not a problem at all, given, that's just a direct power thing. But it seems that Kirito has the most power when it comes to beings not of this world. So it has to do... What I'm not entirely certain about is how Bigfoot is associated with not being of this world. And it seems that our Seiko artifact was also needed too. I believe 2 exceptions were made here, both Solomon as well as Solomon as well as Overlord. I'm not entirely sure how that works out. Maybe they're not contradicting with each other, but rather they're contradicting with our Seiko artifact. The power... Maybe it's because, we just have this bullshit power to cut everything, to rend everything. So maybe it's like the power to rend infinite power versus, the power to rend infinite power... Or, no power, but infinite power in the world that doesn't exist. I don't know. It's like, game explain. Stop making us make up this bullshit up. Seriously, it's frustrating.
The shadows of their former selves who lost roles, much as awaits you. Those who fall from there to here will steadily succumb to the same fate. The missing, fallen through the cracks of the world. Once touched, it will be the same before long.
Missing is an apt term for them, as when viewed head-on, they are missing even the shape of a person. And not just that, but each of them is also missing faces, arms, and legs. Tails are other pieces of themselves. They are all incomplete. This feels familiar somehow. The only information that raised an eyebrow for me was regarding a certain criminal case in Shinjuku. Flashback within a flashback. The incident Shiro mentioned. The ones that took place in Yorkshire. Where we got killed or something? I don't know which one you're talking about. Oh, are they them? Oh! Okay. They're connecting to those 3. I see. So it was a bit unclear what happened to the original police officer that wanted to investigate. I thought they were abducted by the entertainers, but... I mean, maybe they weren't, but I don't know why they're here then as part of missing. Shiro had mentioned this series of missing persons in Yorkshire, in which pieces of the victims' bodies were left behind. These be the victims? Are these the ones who went missing? Oh, missing in another sense, damn. The entertainers have a certain privilege in this game that's exclusive to administrative types. Namely, they can assign and remove roles to and from players as they please. The other day, a signing ceremony was held in Tokyo Cathedral to commemorate the alliance of the Rule Makers and entertainers. Lord Bokuru and I opposed it, but it got pushed through by a majority vote regardless. But I used my position to bring you with me to that signing ceremony as my guest. Now, do you recall the Yorkshire entertainers who sat opposite to us? Their guildmasters and his familiars. Okay, so we did know that Bigfoot was part of the entertainers, which is a bit weird since he was also part of the agents. I'm not entirely sure whose side he's playing for entirely, but it seems that Babe Bunyan was not part of the invaders after all. They were part of the thing. Well, they are part of the invaders, but they're also part of the entertainers. Are they part of the entertainers? I don't think they're part of the entertainers. I don't know how that works out. Oh yeah, I think the familiars are named Babe Bunyan and Bigfoot, right? I do know that it seems like he did something unusual, Babe Bunyan. He led us directly to Wakantanka Mugen, which is not necessarily part of the plan of the invaders, I believe. I mean, that's what they wanted eventually, but I don't think they had him take that role to do that. I seem to recall confirming those names on the app during my entrance session. That's correct. But in actuality, those two are something altogether different. They were given temporary roles here in Tokyo by their guildmaster, quite divergent from the ones they originally had. See, I dug into it a bit, and it seems they originally came here as transients with entirely different names too? Whenever we make use of our rules, it's our rules that determine how they're used. Rules are frightening, yet also essential. And Oscar, the Entertainer's Guildmaster, is capable of swapping them around whenever he pleases. Not just his own, but anyone's. As for why Bigfoot was considered not of this world, okay, so that is confirmation. They explained that omniscient beings cannot exist in the world, and Bigfoot said that he had omniscient potential within him. I mean, I already knew what's called Bigfoot. His association with omniscience and omnipotence. That wasn't the question. That was like, it was just Wakantanka Mugen's powers in general, as, you know, the one that seems to be as part of everyone. And, you know, it reflects in Wakantanka's kid because he's fucking busted. But what I was more confused about was, you know, how that necessarily entails them being not of this world. Though I guess with Isaac and Turing's monologue and the Deep Web or whatever they are, I guess they're insinuating that if you had unlimited power, then that in itself can't exist in this world. I don't know. It's just like, you have to infer, but a lot of these things, it would be better if they spelled it out directly. That being said, the incidents occurring in the show really do seem to be the same as the ones from before. In each case, the culprit and victim alike have been impossible to pin down. The only certainty was that the crime took place. And at the scene of each of those crimes, pieces of seemingly non-existent, unidentifiable victims' bodies are always found. If we are to assume these were the work of a copycat, then we are already on the back foot, as we should have immediately secured a material witness from when it first happened. However... we're fucking dead. Jeez, what a horrific death. Being sought out alive. What if instead, we consider the possibility that perhaps these have all been dress rehearsals for a more traditional crime to come? It could be an indication that the culprit had been plotting that crime for much longer than we realize. Which leads to the question, was this the Yorukusho Guild's doing? Or could it be that this was a breakaway faction within our Chuo Guild, the Rule Makers? As it stands, don't know. No, this whole thing was engineered very carefully to ensure nobody really knows. Maybe I'm just reading into this too much, but what if that was the whole purpose of this alliance? What if the entire thing was orchestrated just to ensure this case remains unsolved and the crime remains on the books. Horace is clearly not finished with his speculation, but just as he opens his mouth to expound on the subject further... I don't know what you're saying! See, I don't understand how this alliance would necessarily obfuscate the truth. It's not like the Rule Makers are directly in the pockets of police's evidence. Whoa! Horace! What in the world is that? Is it the birth of an exception? No, I've seen too many of those before, and this has a completely different air about it. Horace has been around town, I see. Something a bit different then? Oh, rest in peace, podcast. Oh, never mind, he's fine. That then, just vanished? Oh, what in blazes? Taken aback by what he just saw, August, presently in the midst of infiltrating the Yorkshire entertainers, can't help but vocalize his shock. And it's not just you who've disappeared before your eyes, but both of the people you were as well. Not a trace of you remains. One of the two was a familiar to the Yorkshire Entertainers Guildmaster, and the other was an assassin from the Chuo Rule Makers. Entertainers, Rule Makers. I mean, they could have just hired Kirito directly within the Entertainers. I don't necessarily understand why they needed Kirito to be part of the Rule Makers, if they needed to make this exception to leave the supposed crime unsolved. And according to the intel August had available, the Entertainer's familiar, Bigfoot, is known to possess a secret artifact allowing him to erase all traces of himself and others. And the other bears out in life as a sacred artifact, always enveloped in fog. It's hard to deny the potential for harm when putting these two together, as a crime can be easily committed, and a swift getaway assured. What's going on in here? What led up to any of this? Meanwhile, Horace and Nobumichi are busily scurrying around the Yorkshire district, which is in itself now covered by dense fog. Their destination is, of course, the area where the exception-like entity has come into being. Things wouldn't have gotten to this point if we hadn't allowed the entertainers to intervene. The law is a law. The majority voted, and their will can't be ignored just because we don't care for it. Yeah, but would you still be saying that if the perpetrator of these incidents were a family member? Officer Nobumichi, the law is the law. Relatives and loved ones are not above it. Guilty is guilty. So Kirito's sacred artifact lets him escape without being able to flee, not leaving trace behind follow. Meanwhile, Walkie-Talkie Negan's secret artifact allows them to give all he has to everyone equally. Yeah, I don't see the contradiction here, but okay. I don't know. I know what their abilities are, but it's still not clear. They're just saying combined together they can make an epic sort of crime thing. Get away, fly. Even were I to be an accomplice to that family member, the case wouldn't be closed until I received my due punishment. In the end, impartial judgment must be meted out equally. It's for that very reason I came to Tokyo in the first place. Understood. Seems somebody raised you right when you're a little rascal horse. Don't know about that. And that serious attitude and honest nature of yours are some of those things I like the most about you. Aww. Officer Nobumichi Genpachi Inukai, you're never to call me a rascal or invoke again. Is that understood? Oh, sorry about that, Officer Horse. Doesn't mean anything by it. Anyway, come on, we gotta hurry. Wait! Stop! Officer Nobumichi! Horace spots a figure standing in the path to the exception and calls out for Nobumichi to take note and come to a halt. The Mazda, I guess. Hey, state your purpose here. Why are you standing in our way? Chuo Rule Makers Executive, Mid-Earth Representative, and Supreme Judge, Ahura Mazda. Answer me! Dolores, chief of the judicial constabulary. Your deductions are all right on the money. Everything you do is right on the money. But that's why I would ask you to fall back. If you don't, then I'm afraid you'll need to get through me to continue. Why? Why would you do this? Well, I thought of you as one of the most stalwart proponents of stern yet fair judgment. Frankly, I've considered you a real ally all this time. Yet now, you oppose me? Right now, I would merely have you stay out of the loop on this particular stage. Oh, that must really stink for us. The Chad. Oh no, he's pointy, looks maxing, chin maxing skin is gonna get to us. Run away before we get mugged. Alright, we are finally going to part 3, Missing Link. To be fair, every time someone comes in contact with our artistic artifact, plot just happens. I mean, that's fine because we have fucking 23 rules tied within our sacred artifact, but we need an explanation. That's the main issue. Kai Shakutan, newly allied with the Asakusa Guild, has this to say about his homeland and its world representative, Ahura Mazda. Just as accounts start from one, worlds start from mid-earth. 0 and 1, good and evil. That's the kind of easy to swallow stuff that my homeworld's all about. Among the 23 other worlds attached to Tokyo, there's one that's often spoken about as an archetype, Mid-Earth. And the reason it's regarded as such is that the very concept of Judgment Day was created there. It's a belief system that when the world ends, good and evil will be separated, with some souls bound for heaven above and the rest bound for someplace else. It's said that even the great otherworld of Eden referenced Mid-Earth when bringing form to their own system. Ah, interesting. And Mid-Earth's representative, Ahura Mazda, is the arbiter of who looms high above his Mid-Earth defendants. So Mid-Earth, I believe, is Zoroastrianism, if I'm not mistaken. Ahura Mazda, our so-called world representative. You want to hear what I gotta say about that guy? Just imagine what you think an indestructible Superman might look and act like, and you got the gist right there. He works and trains harder than anyone. Is kind, impartial, ain't got no prejudice, and never gets caught up in his head. No matter how big the crime, he always worries if the verdict's fair, and goes out of his way to be sure nobody's falsely accused. What? You don't like that I'm only saying good things about him? I know. That's what's so annoying about him. I hate that goody two-shoes nonsense. If that's what being good's all about, then I'm happy to rep the evil side. Huh? You think when I met, I'm like, I'm the judge and jury now. Shakutan is known for saying that the key to true strength is having a perfectly matched, unbeatable arch-rival to square off against whenever the mood strikes. Nah, I never see that. I ain't that man's enemy. With him, it ain't about strength and weakness. You get what I'm saying? I'm more saying that he and I just don't gel. I told you, Mid-Earth is all about that good and evil, right? In the world of Mid-Earth, every single person who's been assigned a role and rule has a perfectly matched opponent as well. Tarumaiti, the Dark Lord. Take Tarumaiti, for example, who bears the rule of impropriety, supposedly. She has a rival to perfectly balance this, Tarumaiti, whose rule is bound in virtue. So you're probably asking yourself, doesn't that mean Ahura Mazda's got a rival to balance him out to? Well, yeah, I read it up on it. It's apparently the personification of evil itself, but it's not entirely clear if it's just, an expression or natural entity or not. Apparently there's a lot of discussion over whether Zoroastrianism is monotheistic or polytheistic, or there's some other term where it's like, it doesn't reject the existence of other gods. Since he can think of him like some superhero, then his rival would have to be a supervillain. The sort of person who's born only once in the history of the world. The most evil person to ever live. Guilty. The sort of villain with whom Ahura Mazda is set to have a big final battle, with the earth and heavens on the line. That villain's name is Ahriman. That's Ahura Mazda's perfect rival. Just think that you'd support your alliance with the entertainers. That you'd want it, even with how things have turned out. As fellow high-ranking officials and rule makers and fellow world pillars, Horus and Ahura Mazda go quite a ways back. The Supreme Judge Ahura Mazda, whom Horus knows as a superhero, is strong and kind, unwilling to let any injustice go unchallenged. He's the sort of man Horus always felt had distanced himself completely from this world's many pleasures and temptations. I'm afraid it's true, Horus. I give my consent and approval to the actions of the recruit show entertainers. Particularly as they currently strive to take Tokyo in the same direction that I wish for it. I don't understand, Ahura Mazda. That doesn't sound like any objective you ever spoken of before. Ahura Mazda readies his sacred artifact, and Horus immediately does the same. Seems you're not willing to hear me out any further. As someone who's known you for so well for so long, that's truly a shame. I'm certain it must be an act of compassion on your part to try to keep me out of this loop. But that won't be enough. Attempt to exclude me for my own good as the ultimate insult, and I won't take it lying down. Engrave my name of Ahura Mazda onto thee. Transform all that is fictitious into spots of light. Desirable dominion! Engrave my name of Horus unto thee. Resurrect what lies far beyond the line of sight. Dual horizon! What the? To all Asakusa and Wayama Guild survivors, we recommend you surrender and submit to us immediately. Upon judgment day, the good among you will rise to Eden, and the evil shall fall to Gehenna. For you true believers, the gates of heaven shall surely open wide. Resistance is not advised. I repeat. Oh, shut the hell up already! Honestly, these guys just keep copying that old bastard's scriptures note for note. Gust and gale, rage and hell! Crack the damn skies already! Diva of all creation! Come back after you thought up some original lines. You plagiarizing peasants. You were a pain in the rump as a Rami. And now that you're on our side, you're pretty good to have all around. We can't just hole ourselves up here forever, though. We'll starve like street rats. You got any ideas, my guildmaster? If they don't finish us off with this wave, they're just gonna send more. And then sooner or later, the portal is gonna fall. Like Gongli was saying, if we bust out of hiding now, we're just gonna get ourselves broken down and brainwashed. I believe you are correct in not assuming of Asakusa gurus. At present, it falls upon only the 3 true guilds and the administrative guilds to seize the initiative. They are peerless, and we can only remain out of the loop on their inner workings. Out of the loop, huh? Guess you're right. What are they even after, though? That is the question. I too have no explanation as to why they formed this alliance. The Rule Makers are one of the 3 true guilds. Their goal should be to win the game and collect a prize, that being Ayrton. But in this loop, it seems the world representatives have instead prioritized cleansing the foreign influences within Ayrton. They intend to do so by breaking them up from within and excising them, then postponing the fight's conclusion till the next loop. So they plan to go directly execute the exile within us, rather than just win the game itself. So their intention goes beyond that, but rather to target the exile. Interesting. That is the case for Ahura Mazda, but I don't know about Horus. It seems that Horus actually admires that set. From here, I can't have a single peaceful day with the I do feel bad for. The real myth, Ariman really likes taking in his back door to the point he got tricked when he was offered it. Ooh, nice. The That's what I've come to understand based on the sources all available to me. However, that is not in keeping with the principles of the entertainers. They live for the present without considering the next loop. Thus, one would expect their ideology to clash with that of the Rule Makers on a fundamental level. Yet, despite this, the Rule Makers entertainers have now formed a bond with one another, which begs the question, why? Most unnecessary silhouetting ever. Perhaps the Rule Makers are not quite as set in their ways as we assumed, or perhaps there's some disagreement among them. It's true that we haven't seen Mikhail or Amaterasu at all yet, so maybe they're not really part of this plan. There is another explanation altogether.
I don't really get these big brain types.
I too have no capacity to understand the entertainers as I am now. Should anyone in our guild be able to offer insight into them, it would have to be Nyarlathotep. I can think of no other.
Oh, there he is. Ah, really? I feel like I have an inkling as to what they're about at least. Sounds like this. Sure would be nice if you had some clue where Blazes our guildmaster got off to.
That is a good question. Where was he headed exactly?
Who knows? He always just up and disappears on a whim. Reminds me of his master in that sense. Now, don't go lumping me in there just like that. But then I'm just following my visions. Following visions, my ass. You just go off and wander. Same as him. But as teacher-student duos go, you're infamous. Wait, hold up.
What in the world did he get here? I didn't sense your presence at all.
Fucking music. Man, I've been here the whole time. Honestly, Mr. Tenzin, my heart can't take another skill like that. Well, hello to you too, Bucko. How are you youngsters from Asakusa and Ayama holding up?
Mr. Tenzin, are you a teacher at Umamichi Academy then?
Oh no, don't get any ideas that you gotta start being formal with him or anything. Just when you think he's vanished, he pops right up again. He's a ghost geezer, is all he is. I mean, yeah, he can be pretty wise and helpful, but when he suddenly shows up like that, I swear it takes years off my life. Ugh. I see you.
So he's your guild's advisor then? You seem quite close.
Seriously, you old coot. You have an idea how crazy things have gone while you've been off to who knows where? Are you perhaps referring to the Rikuju and Chuo guilds aligning? The Ayaman's guild's fall and Asakusa coming under fire?
Huh?
Pardon?
The transient named Tenzin effortlessly details bit by bit all the most current information regarding the present state of the game.
So yeah. I foresaw all this, including the disappearance of our favorite little teacher's pet guildmaster. And I've been racking my brain all this time, planning out what to do once they finally came. Surprise you didn't I, Sumi Dono? You'd best remember, I know where all roads lead. Don't get you cocky with me. If you knew, then you should have damn well said something to us, you haughty old geezer.
He's in for an earful.
Uncle!
Matsumi, I do believe that's enough. Poor Mr. Tenzin is turning blue.
Thought I was gone there for a minute. Anywho, how are the Ayama Guild Missionaries Guildmaster Maria, right?
I am?
Well, then I've come to talk to you in the place of my good-for-nothing protege, the Asakusa Guru's Guildmaster.
To talk with me, Mr. Tenzin? About what?
Well, isn't it obvious? Well, we Guru's crazy all-or-nothing plan to break right out at this earmire. How we got on our shoes stuck in. Right out? We're pretty well chopped on all sides, and walls are closing in. What have you got in mind, old man? Well, we're firmly off the stage right now. As you pointed out, Mototsumi, we're being divided and toyed with. And just what the hell did I say that? You're really trying to my patience, you know. Now just hold on tight. You don't, no need to get your pantaloons in a twist. Good? Ready for me to continue? Our primary opponents here have taken the center stage. And they're not even looking our way, which is a pretty good spot to be in.
Motor has a tramp stamp and something mark. Interesting.
Because it means we can join forces with all the other fragmented groups across Tokyo, and make sure one big ring around the whole stage.
I think one big ring around the whole stage.
What?
I gotcha, I think. You're saying that when small fry bands together, they become a scaled up squad. Oh, so you gurus aren't just pursuing an alliance with missionaries, but...
Bingo! I want us to connect with everybody from every other guild. It'll be the birth of an inter-guild mega-alliance.
And hence, the guild affiliation system is born. So now I'm seeing the connection here of why Chapter 14 was when this was first released, or when it was first did that anyways. By this cooperative thing, it seems that everyone can switch teams with each other, even though they can still switch teams with Rule Makers and Trainers, which is kind of sussy, but okay. No battle after all this time, huh? Okay, we will be continuing with the next part in a bit, which is going to be Mega Alliance of Guilds. However, we did finish one episode, so as per usual, like yesterday, let's take a short break. I'll catch you cuties in a bit, take a 5 or 10, and I will be back before then. Be back soon. Hi guys, back. Zai drops in. Alright, let's continue with the story. So we are going to be continuing with the second episode for today, episode 4, Mega Alliance of Guilds, part 1. Got the packages I just noticed. Stop! Don't come any closer! Quantum, get behind me.
What are you attempting to do?
Can you tell with this sword I mean, I know violence is bad, but
You cannot. Did I not just tell you? How long ago come to have lost the rules? Therefore, we cannot make use of rules either.
they don't have the rolls. Huh. Yeah, oh wait, it's gone! My sacred artifact, my sword! In fact, my entire arm is missing? What the fuck? That sword has seen you through many difficult times, rending all that prevented you from realizing your potential. It's been a constant companion, both through thick and thin. Yet that companion, and even that arm that bore it, is now gone. How long have I been without it? When did this happen when? Did he cut my arm off then? Oh, here they are, brand new union. I've been waiting for you, my honored guest who's been watching the stage all this time. You've seen anything and everything in this world. The all-knowing one. The ultimate exception. Solomon. Shaking with excitement, Christine gives a deep, respectful bow. What is going on? Oh, sorry, if you just came back from the break. What's it called? This episode is beginning by Christine talking with Solomon, and also apparently we lost our arm in the weirdo world, and also our secret artifact, because apparently no one has a rule in that world. No one has a rule, so they can't use a rule. By your leave, we, your true entertainers, will now begin the final act in dedication to you. I, Christine, as representative of the Cedar Troupe, shall be your guide. Won't you please come this way? A loud clangor sounds across the stage. Something seems to have dropped at the Exception's feet. It's a sword belonging to a certain someone. And gripping it, with some emblem clearly on display, it's the arm of its rightful bearer. Oh dear, please do excuse the mess. Allow me to pick up and dispose of this refuse. Wow, rude bitch. The Exception reaches for the arm as Christine picks it up and gently strokes the ring on its finger.
Father? Oh, Father, is that really you?
Gives no shits about her arm. That's right. So sorry to have left you alone for so long.
That voice! That voice!
Wait, Solomon's here and not with us. I guess, what's it called? He's tied to the ring, not necessary to us. It's a voice exuding an unparalleled warmth and kindness. A voice little Solomon has heard countless times before. I remember. I possess all the memories of the times we spent together. All of them.
You too?
I'm here now. There is no need for any further concern. Come, let's go. Take my hand.
Okay.
This person's appearance and voice are perfect matches, yet little Solomon's hand still wavers as it draws near his father's. Stop! Dear me, boy guest, what's the matter? It's impolite to raise one's voice like that in front of a guest. Don't play coy with me. What happened to him? To Marathon? Where did he go? Oh, what did he do?
I'm afraid he fell outside of this world.
Most likely as a consequence of losing his raison d'etre, his role. What? He lost his role?
It would seem so. And of course, when an actor no longer has a part to play, it's only natural for them to leave the stage, no?
And any props that actor used might rightfully be returned. Stand-ins too. How did we lose a role? I mean, we lost our arm, but does that mean we lose a role? I don't get that voice. Coming out loud, little Solomon. Little Solomon? It's no use, my voice isn't reaching. No sword to wield. No partner to follow along. Not even an arm with which to fight back. You begin to feel as though you've already joined the ranks of the missing.
Come, this way.
Wait! Crossroads of the Witch Queen! August, sacred artifact consists of shackles that bind the body and constrain misfortune. And with them, August is able to snatch away your arm and your sword from Christine's grasp. What is the meaning of this, August? Hey, gangstar music! You tell me. What's all this about stand-ins, Christine? Are you implying Arthur is unnecessary? He saved me and that kid back when we were in a whole heap of trouble. There's no substitute for Arthur. Back then, I was a vagabond. Part of another girl just to keep going and make ends meet. I didn't have what others had, and was just forced to scrape by. Not just for my sake, but for the little one too. And once, while we were in the midst of all this trouble, me and Kenta met someone else. I'm always lamenting my personal misfortunes, but misfortune itself bound us together. That someone has a hell of a destiny, and I owe him a great deal for having rescued me and Kenta. But then he pulled off stage, just like that? Well, that proof of his existence is now right in my hands.
Do give chase. Yeah, it's a lot harder to run when you put on a few of those. The live stream server's coming! This isn't good either. They have multiple pursuers, and I'm just one transient. Plus, this is Yorokacho, their own base. I can already see them gaining on me. I'm nowhere close to escaping. However, one of us have their own way of fighting back. Crossroads of the Witch Queen. The sacred artifacts attached to Bogust's body collect and utilize misfortune from and upon his surroundings. Suddenly, the stone walls lining the back alleys around him begin to collapse, one after another, coming into massive rock piles that almost seems to be targeting both him and his pursuers. Go, Bogust, run! My top body saved me. It's times like these I'm thankful to be doing manual labor on the daily. Bogust, finally distancing himself from the now scattered and disheveled pursuers, takes out his phone and tries to establish a connection somewhere. Hey, fellow wanderers, could use a little help here.
We seem to have shaken off the missing. Are you alright, phone now, DB?
Quantum adopts an almost confident, reassuring air as she speaks, like that of an experienced senior concerned for a junior. Thanks, but why did you save me?
There once was a time when I, too, was lost and confused. And in that time, I was aided by another.
Oh. So she has memories of the past loops. Maybe she was here all this time and the memories don't actually reset in this location. Outside the looping Tokyo, Quantum's past memories plays out as clearly as if they just happened yesterday. Yeah, so I guess this place doesn't loop. So it's not that she retains her memories across the washing of it, it's just that she was out of the bounds of the Great Flood of Time.
I told you before, but you truly do resemble my saber from back then.
Did say something like that. I don't fully understand, but thanks.
Now, you see, we can all continue living even when we are powerless. I am no different. Before I knew it, I, Quantum, found myself on this side of the laboratory's poison gas box. I could do nothing about it, and as far as the person on the other side was concerned, it mattered not if I were here or gone. But then something wondrous happened, and as a result, it was someone I was able to meet. So for that reason, even though I cannot say if it is permitted, you too.
What's wrong? Are you trying to comfort me? Did we summon them while they're in the Black Box experiment? In a different timeline?
I know how shocking it must be to lose that which you depended on having. More shocking than I can personally know, having never had a single possession of my own to begin with. This is your first time losing that which is dear to you, and the shock must be overwhelming.
Hey, it's not the first time. Something similar has happened before.
Oh?
Let's just remember what happened in Tokyo Bay. The Ramu and Leviathan exceptions appeared in Tokyo Bay and combined together as one. As this occurred, the rule bearers who summoned these exceptions were divided. One of each pair swallowed up in order to separate them from their counterparts. Oh, okay. So they cause an exception with each other. I still don't fully understand how they cause an exception with each other. And I guess by making a bond with them, we were able to resolve it by establishing a hierarchy through proxy, just like originally. Yeah, the little story that came before this chapter. So, I don't really understand it, but essentially the rules of Wakantaka Mugen was just being everywhere present at the same time. And Tangaroa... what was his? He just like had a bunch of bad experiences or some shit like that. I don't even know. Conceptually though, they are kind of opposites. I don't know if that would necessarily constitute an exception though. Because Wakantanka Mugen was originated as this infinite being, but then they became this finite being temporarily on Tokyo. Through all the events until they returned back to their infinite form. And Tangaro, is the opposite. He was this just very lonesome individual being who came from Luna Kanaloa, something like that. And, it was only through countless sudden loops because of his world pillar that he was ground became more infinite than he expected to be. So quite interesting in that sort of contrast. But again, I don't really think that counts as an exception. This whole thing between them, their exception, is never explained how it was made. And we're want to assume this separation to be connected with each telling these exceptions. So they've been separated so that, the exception can't resolve. And one possible reason for it would be to tear oneself away from the two who spawned them. And then we're one to further assume a similar reason behind why two exception-like entities had spawned in the first place. Okay, good to confirm they're both exceptions. Most likely, we caused an exception. Okay. So I don't know exactly what the contradictions are, but I do know now because of the comparison with the Lokan Mugen and Tangara Mugen. They're saying it's exactly the same in terms of we were the exception to both Kirito and to Bigfoot. And by resolving that, it seems to be the solution to do it. I don't know how necessarily it would work out, though, in terms of what the contradiction is. I guess cutting infinity versus cutting nothing? I don't know. Well now, Kun, it would seem that, for the moment, everything may be going just as you've planned it. But if I can offer any sage advice to you on the matter, it's this. Never underestimate Aderthan. He made a lot of unique memories in this loop. Act too rashly and the rug may be pulled out from under you. My favorite part about Chapter 13, as a whole, I mean, some parts were a bit confusing, like the formation of exception and all that, but I do believe Isaac's plan was actually very well thought out, like incredibly so. And so I don't think this like blabber about, Isaac's the plan A, he had the best plan, was for nothing. Because he really did seem to have a brilliant plan of sort of bringing the memories to everyone themselves through this stormfront by capturing portals, and then sort of subsuming their memories so that they would then all believe to have that one uniting belief system. So he could force a majority in that way by pouring down Wakantaku Yugen's reign on everyone. So it was pretty brilliant. And then in the moment that happened, he also immediately jettisoned them super far away. And it was also kind of brilliant of how he kept them separate from us, but yet also near at the same time, because we couldn't be too far from the exception, I believe. I believe it was just we were located within the head of Ramu or something. So it was just they're separate, but, also close. It was interesting. Bertro's plan made no fucking sense, though. He just wanted to see the moonfall. I guess it worked out, but I don't really know what the answer was that besides it looked pretty. But that's supposed to be plan B through evolution or something. I don't know how making the moon collapse is related to that, but sure. But yeah, plan C, supposedly it's even worse than Bertro's. I mean, so far it seems a bit legit. It was already immediately something two exceptions, but maybe it'll fall apart on its own. We'll see. Hey, it's Gomon, main chapter. Genius playwrights, student actors aiming for greatness, famous kabuki performers, startlingly charismatic dancers, and more. It's the Ryukusho entertainers where Tokyo's most famous and infamous entertainment juggernauts gather. And the true birthplace of this guild lies with the famous student theater troupe and talent agency. So they didn't mention the origins briefly. I forget who was talking about it, but they never elaborated. So naturally, the members who assemble at this guild consist largely of those with connections to the entertainment industry, as well as those who work behind the scenes within it. Does he? A transient from the other world of Gehenna who just joined recently, Lucius happens to be one such individual. Your favorite thing with Chapter 13 was Hiroshi and Taishaki. That was pretty big brain what they did in terms of just infinitely killing each other. I mean, to my understanding, I didn't think that would be possible just because I didn't realize it'd be so easy to use exception powers like that. But then again, fucking Shiro literally just did that when he appeared in Chapter 8 or something, and so did Tango, so... I guess infinite healing is not off the books. He's never been Evo though, unfortunately. He's actually already been involved with the entertainment works since arriving in Tokyo, albeit in a position where he couldn't ever show his face. Those in the know may know him better as MP, a famous producer of original songs performed by vocal AI software. The P is short for penis, for producer, and is a common designation among those who write and direct musical performances in which AI vocalists are personified. Attributing personalities to AI vocalists was just beginning to catch on in Tokyo when this moniker was adopted. And MP's eccentric talents were particularly well suited to this end. And so it didn't take MP long to build up quite a fanbase. The problem is, Amdusias always felt distanced from his fanbase performing these types of activities. Or perhaps it was just more that he felt distance from his true desires. Perhaps what he wanted to do and what he could do didn't entirely overlap. Then one day in Tokyo, a distraught Amdusias met someone. A bright shining star over the city, you might even say a superstar more commonly known as an idol. And even from his cheap seat far in the back of the audience, he could clearly see how extraordinarily bright she shone when she poured her heart into her performance. To Amdusias' eyes, this striving idol appeared tempestuously, blindingly bright indeed. What's with the damning phantom theme? And that's when he realized he wants to command the same awe in the audience. He wanted to shine brightly too. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Everyone, welcome to my live show. At a certain underground venue, one can pay for the hour for stage time, hosting whatever events would like to thereupon during the time allotted. First time he showed his face there, Amdusias' paws were trembling. Indeed, he was trembling all over and felt as though he could burst into tears at any moment. Aw. In his mind, it was laughable for a big, burly beast of a man like him to even attempt to shine brightly as an idol. But he just kept thinking of himself that one day, maybe he too could shine up there on stage with the others. And with that dream in mind, Amdusias began watching and learning from idol shows, studying what worked and what didn't, and putting that knowledge into practice as best as he could. Very Amdusias. From what I can tell, K-pop bands are trending nowadays, and I'm pretty sure like half of those are just male idols too. But this wasn't like his days as MP. Things just didn't seem to turn out the way he wanted them to. For his true talent was making others shine, and as time passed, he found that what he really wanted were companions. So after many ups and downs, Amdusias wound up devoting his efforts to the Yuricho entertainers. In truth, it happened quite accidentally, stemming from the most insignificant of happenstances. Essentially, the entertainers were the first guild he found out about, and thus became the guild he chose to join. And it's really as simple as that. Yeah, you know, the biggest predictor of a lot of things is just proximity. The transient Amdusias simply wanted companions by his side on his long road ahead. And in another stroke of fate, this happened to be the right as the game in Tokyo was beginning to pick up steam. Just signed up for something he didn't know was bigger than it was. We are to infiltrate the enemy encampments head on. All invaders, unit move out. Hang in tight, Rule Makers Elite. Our allied reinforcements will arrive soon. Until then, we must hold the line. All the new recruits seeing nothing of the guild battles prior to this seem to simultaneously shudder in fear. Their daily lives in this battlefield have already proven untenable. After the battle zones are terminated, all the horrific mortal wounds suffered by the soldiers heal themselves up completely before everyone else's very eyes. This is a battlefield with no escape, where even the sweet release of demise is denied. And as the war now encompasses all of Tokyo, there's no safe space remaining to hide from its tendrils. So what, they're just gonna keep on engaging them in battles, in local battle zones the entire time? Now that I think about it, yeah, that does make sense, because unlike with Isaac's plan, which is no longer happening, and unlike with Birch's plan, at least he somehow enshrouded the entire thing in darkness through Mahakal or something. Curran and the Rule Makers did not actually enwrap the entire Tokyo in some sort of wall or unified belief system yet. Bircho didn't actually cover all of Tokyo, I believe, but I believe he just covered some localized area. But yeah, Curran skipped that entirely, and it seems that they're just fighting each other to localized battle zones, which is definitely something. It's gonna all range us to this. Come at me, bears. Take me now.
Report. A mysterious force has appeared beyond main units. We're taking heavy fire here. Huh? That's not possible. Yep ain't showing anything behind
Bear jump scare.
Take me out.
We bears, so true. So true. The Entertainers, as an administrative guild, possess privileges not available to the other guilds. This includes the ability to keep their own game status from being displayed to other app users. This allows them to snake up on opposing players and stage a surprise attack that enemies will be completely unprepared for.
It's the Entertainers. The rumors are true that they're participating in the game directly are true.
Oh, gosh.
They're using mental warfare on us.
Because of that saying that this is only permitted because of their administrative status, and they're not officially to have any direct involvement in this conflict. Having turned coat and joined the fight, however, this ability grants them an extremely unsportsmanlike advantage, to put it mildly. Did they somehow flood them with memories? So weird.
Honestly, these Yorkshire Entertainers and knaves have no honor in their fight.
Beowulf locks his broadsword against Christine's umbrella blade in a beautiful display of fight choreography.
The trophy must come down straight away. That this loot may finally be put to bed and the next welcomed in. I came here because, as a dragon slayer, it seemed the task would be a simple one for me to carry out.
And it stands to reason, dear Beowulf, in your position as Game Master representative, it should be as you say.
Yet it is not because the game's trophy. Nay, everything has been spirited away beyond my reach.
There are two guilds here in Tokyo that are regarded as administrative in nature. The first is the Yokucha Entertainers of Chiyoda Ward, who see to it that the game remains entertaining all the way through. And the other is the Oshiage Game Masters of Sumida Ward, who are responsible for the game's upkeep and maintenance. Of course, these two have butted heads on numerous occasions, many leading to rather tense standoffs.
But this is no laughing matter, Christine. You do understand that, no? Not just getting in our way, but even going so far as to bring something like that onto the stage?
Beowulf briefly gestures with his eyes towards the exception standing next to Christine. I'll take you not to refer to my dear VIP guest as that. It is truly quite impolite. For you see, he observes with deified eyes how I have conducted myself on stage thus far, and how I'm to end up. Is this entire plan Christine's? No, it's not. In the very least, the emotional motivation to bring Solomon is definitely Christine's. There might be some overlapping motivations, though.
Indeed. That follows with one such as you. A bit too well, given the meaning of your name is the one who offers himself to God. I do not entertain such delusions of grandeur, however. For the reason I am a game master is that I intend to see this game continue. Come whatever may. I merely wish to fight in this Tokyo as I always have, as the raw and impulsive man I am. So tell me, Christine, do you entertainers truly intend to end this game?
We do, Beowulf of the Game Masters.
So you act against us in our pursuit to the game's perpetual continuance. May I infer that from your statement? There is also another matter to discuss unrelated to my Game Master's affiliation. I would have you answer for your guild sheltering that criminal.
Okay.
To what end? Why would you make use of Loki? What could you all be planning?
Allow me first of all to make a small correction. It is not a matter of us all planning anything.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I figured this is not necessarily all the entertainment spans. I, and my role upon the stage, am the one who summoned this guest as a VIP. Though aside from myself, there are others among us who required the presence of this particular guest in the audience. Oscar and Loki. A performance is not complete, after all, with only actors upon the stage. Without spectators, there can be no show. Okay, so the show is for Solomon. I know this was a game, but it always made me think who exactly is watching the game. So, like, just being watched by Solomon himself then. Well, Jose, I really wish I could have played with you a little bit longer, but it seems my ride is here.
Salutations, Loki. I'm here to bring you home. How have you been?
I was doing fine until I saw your ugly mug, Oscar. I feel as though I've just been forced to eat shit. Or, yeah.
I bet you have a real seeing me like this, given the degenerate you are. I see that smile on your face. But what I fail to see is what a saddle know-it-all you like you could even want with the likes of me. You do have quite the mouth on you, Loki. Good children wouldn't need to cover their ears on your prisons, I say. Yet I love that aspect of you more than anything. That vulgar and haughty look in your eyes is truly captivating. Okay, you seriously need to stop while me with that gaze. It's getting old. Well, if you must know I'm here, it's because we want you in attendance at our gala, as a true guest of honor. I wish for you to see the scenario I've drafted, which I'm quite proud of. But what is a show with no audience? Should this whole world be a stage and I be a performer upon it, then I wish for none more than to see you to see my show, Loki. A man named Oscar raises the pointed end of his cane to the jail's lock, firing something from its tip. That's the right spell for the right tool. Lethal Stampede. Just kidding. Is that a Gondor shot? That's a black magic technique for firing runic text from the tip of one's cane, as if from a gun. Ozzy grasps his rune from earlier as pain shoots through him, uttering under his breath. He knows that the Gondor shot by the memories he inherited from Odin, world representative of Yggdrasil. That must mean the Guild Master's sacred artifact comes from Yggdrasil. Or maybe. Well, I can't resist even if I want to under these conditions. So do with me whatever you will, you... Oh, believe me, I shall. Apologies for the intrusions behind you, dear guest. Guildmaster Oscar pushes the stretcher upon which the transient Loki is bound and begins exiting the dungeon. Wait, Loki! We're not done tucking it! A sound effect for Loki's sensors. I'd love to ask you a favor, but would you mind freeing this other one as well? Can't stomach the thought of leaving him trapped in here alone, given that he succeeded in my stepbrother. Besides which, he subjected me to some truly delectable trauma, and it would be rude not to return the favor. Why, oh my, could be there's a trace of compassion in you yet. I must admit, I'm a bit envious, Loki. Though if the rumors I've heard are true, was it not that very stepbrother who restrained you in the first place, so long ago? You misjudge me, Oscar. I'm a very kind person. To everyone in the world but you, that is. That's why I don't hold any grudge towards Odin. In fact, quite the opposite. He was a beacon of light amidst all the suffering. Loki thinks back to the man who restrained him and slowly tortures him with a continuous poison drip, and Ashley smiles as though the memories bring him great joy. And I think of my stepbrother's concerned face in the moment he decided to torture me. I just find it so irresistible. To show such compassion for a common criminal. Perhaps the successor can shine even brighter still. As you wish, then. I will do as you say and arrange for his release. However... Yes. I'll view your production willingly, though don't think for a moment I won't sharply critique every part of it afterward. Though I am compelled to ask you one question, Oscar. How exactly do you propose I watch your little show like this? Oh, you don't need to concern yourself with that, Loki. I'll be live streaming the entire stage from the front row.
Not gonna lie, they are hot but toxic as hell. The role for that has already been cast, in fact, and should be arriving in the venue as we speak.
Alright, newbie, are you ready for your first day at work with me and the girl? Shall we be off? Won't you really stop calling me newbie? My name is Amdusias. I know you're an amazing dancer, but I'm also seriously trying to become an idol here. If you can see this job through, I'll consider it. So how about you show me why it's worth taking a chance on you, newbie?
Fine. I still have no idea why we're here or what the guild is up to. If I'm understanding this assignment correctly, you just want me to livestream what everyone else is doing here in Tokyo, no? Amdusias is really configuring the camera equipment with obvious expertise and efficiency as he asks this.
That's right. I want you to capture everyone who's shining brightly on this stage. Your old MP works brought tears to my eyes, proving that you have a real talent for capturing the best in others.
Stop it, boss. I don't handle praise straight to my face very well.
You do have a cute start to you, it seems. Just don't go thinking that's enough to make you an idol, newbie.
Anyway, where or who am I even streaming to exactly?
The audience for this livestream will determine how I go about taking my footage. I should think the answer would be obvious. You're streaming to someone who's not on stage. A performance is not a performance with only actors upon stage. Spectators are what make it a proper show.
Meanwhile, in the space outside of Tokyo upon which you've fallen, where even life and death are vacant and indistinct. What is happening on the other side? Autumn, you ever need an idea? I think I need your expertise here.
Of course! I've indeed become welcome to this place, so I'll tell you everything I can.
Autumn seems pleased to be relied upon and looks up to, puffing her chest out as a bit as she continues.
I'm not connected with the other side here, but I do have knowledge of it. Have you seen weight waves? In my home world of Utopia, it's a function we are all readily capable of.
Oh, that's interesting. So, as with the old ones having certain perks exclusive themselves using their sacred artifact abilities, it seems everyone from Utopia can just receive radio waves. Interesting. Humans can't do that naturally, but I don't have a phone with me. I can't send anything, but maybe, yeah, I can receive signals.
That is the nature of this place. Well, they know nothing of our plight here. We can serve them freely.
Let's see what things are like outside. They're streaming to us. We're the audience. Okay. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Check. Can you hear me? Your audience? Wherever you are. What channel is this? Oh, wait, it's the entertainers. No, wait, chapter 13? No, this is chapter 14. We're making our way down. Taito. Okay. Mega Alliance of Guilds, part 3. We're in part 3. I don't remember doing part 2. Thank you, stamina reduction. Also, we're facing a bunch of mobs and a tall map. And yeah, we are doing chapter 14 right now, which has been translated for this campaign. It is featuring the angels of the Rule Makers as well as the entertainers, live streamers. No, not the guests. Okay, it seems this is going to be taking place in Asakusa. You've only played chapter 10. Okay, maybe this is a bit spoilery, but it's fine. Like, I don't know. The biggest spoilers, honestly, were in like chapter 9 and before. From chapter like 10 onward, it's just like, you know, the three true guilds taking sequential turns with each other. I don't know if you want to stay for that. Honestly, it'd be better if you like read the things beforehand on your own, but it's not going to be extremely major spoilers. It'll just be a bit lost with context. Well, there might be one major spoiler that's coming up. Yeah, if you never got to chapter 13, it's been translated for quite a while now, so give it. The Asakusa Gurus is a guild born of a loose gathering of delinquent students from Umamichi Academy in Taito Ward. However, their guildmaster, Sanzo, is always busy studying for entrance exams. Ah, Sanzo. That's the guildmaster's name. And is a child of his own to care for as well. And so, much like Tunzin, the transient he considers to be his master and moral guide, he is regularly absent from school and is rarely seen in general. With both Guildmaster and Guildmaster's Master being virtual ghosts, the other members have become largely self-reliant, following their own paths as they each see fit. Unfortunately, this results in them regularly being called out by locals as little more than thugs and hooligans. Did I use Protagonist here? No, I'm a Protagonist 5 user. Number 5. Numero uno. Yet somehow, no matter what disparaging remarks are made about them, they always seem perfectly willing to just shrug it off. Instead of fighting their neighbors, they spend most of their time hanging out with their friends, slacking off, fighting one another, or raising their children. That is true. Though the gurus are decentralized and unfocused, there is one belief that all of its members share. Is it related to them following whatever path they want? The teachings of the hermits of Umamichi Academy, which serves as the guru's portal. These teachings state that the road we each follow has no end, instead advancing ever onward, stretching out into infinity. Essentially, it is unbound by the wall around Tokyo, stretching well beyond it and even further still. Those who regard the world in which they dwell as a limiter cannot even begin to grasp the full picture of what awaits them in the future. So they don't believe in the totality of the world and everything it begets. They don't believe like a complete picture of everything. Rather, they believe in the limitless possibilities of the future and the different paths you could take toward it. Interesting. It is a pretty strong contrast from the other world's beliefs in terms of, you know, beliefs about there being a strict good and evil and the gods of certain entities and all that. This is less tangible, essentially, more about potential than it is about tangibles. The gurus are unbound by fact or fiction, right or wrong, life or death. The only thing certain is that the road continues onward into the distance. Interesting. And it will keep on carving its path into the future, even as memories of us begin to vanish from the people, from the bloodlines, and the lives that we've touched. Right, so even our own existence, even the memories of our existence and the inherited memories of our presence, that won't matter even in a larger picture of infinity. Never thought Mr. Minomi was Mahakala. Ooh, okay, well that is... Well, I'm not going to comment on that since we haven't seen it yet. In Norse mythology, the gods made a deal with giants in exchange for gods. Sun Moon started all around, so the one winters with gods, so on. Okay, so Loki got all of them. Okay, that's a bit interesting. I mean, I've heard all sorts about Loki. I don't think it's quite necessary right now, but thank you for the insight. If it's relevant, it'd be better though. That is our savior, our hope, and in a certain very real sense, our greatest fear beyond any external evils we may know. For ultimately, there's no telling where this road leads, and there's nothing scarier in this world or any other than uncertainty. Yo, Iku, welcome. Repeat. Allied Guild Rule Makers requesting reinforcements. Large-scale lab battle underway in Asakusa, Taito Ward. Opponents are a cooperative collision of Asakusa Guild gurus and Ayam missionary survivors. Well, now it seems the show is getting interesting in that part of town. Shall we go see it for ourselves, newbie? Oh, wait, the missionaries? Isn't that the guild Gabriel, the popular mega idol, is in? Lucius reacts to the familiar name of a guild he's seen before when looking up the information about the island. He's secretly seen as his personal rival.
Oink! Yo, what the sue me? They're gonna bring in. They keep on bringing in more and more reinforcements.
We're all with frightened kids who are practically still in diapers over here, but the attacks just keep on coming.
Oh, right, they're there. Otsumi and company bite their lips as they try to shelter the young children evacuated from the Aoyama Guild.
Oi! You Asaksaguros are my sworn enemies. Don't you dare think I'm gonna let you just go off and cry into your pillows.
Taishakuten, recently recruited to aid the Asaksagurus, shouts out in frustration.
Taishakuten? Seriously? You always made such a ruckus when we were fighting, but now that's someone else, you're all woe is me.
Maria, and the rest of you too.
Who does?
Oh my, is that?
Jacob? Oh, it's Gabriel.
Gabriel!
Shit.
Gabriel, the Light Legion at your service.
And I brought Prince back with me.
Gabriel, it's good to see you, and the angels who departed Ion, no less.
I hope you'll see fit to allow us back in the fold, Lady Rita. Father Azal and the rest of you as well. Although we were down from still towards Supreme Villain Angel Mikhail, we were brought to our senses by the soothing voice of Lady Gabrielle. Please let us join hands with you on this stage again. Murtasomi, Yongli, and Li Cho, our brashest and most troublesome pupils. You just leave them to me. I'll be sure to hide them away someplace where nobody in the world's gonna find them.
Genzin smacks the ceremony with one paddle he's holding, and other young children in his presence suddenly seem to vanish into thin air. It was real, you're so happy. No. Yeah, I'm glad that a lot of these event-only characters are showing up.
Whoa! Check out! We're invisible! That's neat! Oh! Amazing, but how does it work?
Okay, you old coot. That's a nice trick, but let's circle back to your idea about joining forces with the other guilds. Oh, no need to worry about that. The seeds have already been planted. This is where the road has led them, I said. All that remains is to follow it and see where it ends. And where it ends is at a party. A parade! So let's all get into a big circle and make some noise. The hell? Come on, you old bat. I'm being serious here. The eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and fun for fun. Being serious will never win out against fun. Let's just enjoy yourselves however you see fit. Connecting with other strong-willed people who know what they're about. Oh my god. Sometimes when I read fast, my eyes just lose focus. Connecting with other strong-willed people who know what they're about can be tough at first, but that's all worth it when you're walking shoulder to shoulder with them in the end. I'm gonna head on to the next guild. Catch you there, you young whippersnappers. Honestly now, a stubborn old fool. But I get it. Except I don't get it, but it's fine. I guess he's saying we should just keep doing the things the way we think is best. Is that it?
Eat alive!
Who cares about this dude?
It's Stefan!
Sorry, I know a lot of you have sense. But I care more about Taylor. So how are you all doing? Doing well, I hope. Got an invitation for you though, if you're interested.
Oink!
He's friends with them because of... Was he a nightmare? He was not a nightmare. This was during a Cat Festival, and I know Licho met Ketchi during Cat Festival. I don't remember when these two met though. Maybe it was during... Was it? I don't remember. I don't remember when they met. Damn. Okay. Maybe it was the Halloween Police thing. I'm so glad to have reconnected with everyone. Yeah, it's probably Halloween Policing, I think. I think he got a new Halloween skin and Alpha had his variant then. I'm so glad to have reconnected with everyone. Let's just keep calm and carry on, for this is to be our season of triumph. And he's connecting, of course, to the Setsubun gang. enemy the ogres.
Right. Now you gotta to tell your friends in your guild and have them tell their friends. Get ready for your gathering.
Oh, the connections. See, they're not necessarily, connected by the events because this might be a different loop. But at the same time, they might be connected across loops in terms of, having a persistent friendship. That's very cool.
What kind? Well, seems obvious, doesn't it? It's gonna be a party, and everybody's invited. And let's make it the biggest damn party we can muster.
Subi calls it summon, pretty much. Alright, let's see the scripted battle.
Yeah. 100万ボルトだ!
Just a bunch of 3-star fucks. Gross! Okay, let's see their kits. He doesn't even have his evolution! Gross. He has all his abilities unlocked, so his shitty limited ability is probably best out of everyone's. Motasumi sucks. Especially as a 3-star, but even his 4-star sucks, even with 2 evolutions. I mean, he has Brawn, I guess. And... hold on, does he need to move for limit? I think he does. He does. Licho. I probably won't matter because it's scripted, but might as well check. He has Brawn, he also has skill lock, so he could be the most generally useful. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. Okay. Well, Gongay doesn't actually do anything in the back anymore without his evolutions. You suck! Okay, well, might as well collect more people while we're at it. So we're gonna... Okay, and we're gonna move Richo. We're getting there slowly. The pro gamer strats. We're trying to win a scripted battle. Okay, well, let's not waste his charge quite yet. Seriously, just fucking charming. Oh, a fucking asshole. Okay, go Motasumi, you're immune to it. Can you fucking stop? Okay, kill him before we fucking chant us all again in sequence. Okay, Jesus Christ. There you go. No one lost. Go gaming. We got charms again. Yeah, I figured.
ったく、柄でもねえな、ほんと。
Okay, we do have an after battle scene. Hey!
Listen to my voice and let it inspire you! Gloria in Excelsis!
First time she used her artifact like that. She doesn't really generally like using it, but this is the first time she's actually using it on screen anyway. Supposedly she actually gets in the front line to fight for Ayame versus Tycoons. But, you know, it's actually nice to see her use her ability to influence people now.
Oh, you're doing good, newbie. Just keep on streaming and bringing viewers into the fold.
But, they're wrong. Boss, I still don't really get what's going on. Well, that seems to be like, are we the baddies?
What? How in the world did you come up to that conclusion?
Well, I mean,
Look at what we're doing. Appealing to guests from what beyond through live streaming. It's like brainwashing. Oh, but don't you see? There is no beyond. On this stage we call Tokyo. Every single person is in our stage, is in our target audience. English, please.
Maria, are you okay? You look awfully pale. What's the matter?
I'm sorry to worry you, Gabrielle. I fear my tension has been pulled out and is on the verge of snapping.
No way. No, Maria. It's no good at all. You're always taking everything on your shoulders alone. Others may not see it, but you can't hide it from me. I'm like from the same cloth as you, you know? When something's wrong, I'm gonna see it, because I'm always watching.
Oh. Thankfully, I finally finished rereading Chapter 4 in my own time, so I remember what the backstory is. It is kind of sad. It seems Maria actually lost her original biggest crush, which is Maria, before she took on her name. So she's not actually Maria. And Gabrielle kind of, you know, fawns for Maria's affection because she can reach those who Gabrielle can't reach through her singing versus Maria in the dark. And also Gabrielle kind of seems some sort of jealousy as well, because it seems like the one that Maria loves is still Maria. But the torch was passed down to you from Jacob, right? But it wasn't just the good master tale he gave you. He gave you his memories too, didn't he? His memories of what he's seen in previous loops. Oh wait, that's Gabriel talking. Damn it.
The torch was passed down from Jacob, right? But it wasn't just the Guildmaster tale he gave you. He gave you his memories too, didn't he? His memories of what he's seen in previous loops.
And that he did, Gabriel. Very astute of you.
So you're carrying the weight of a world representative, then like Mikhail and the others.
The lesbian seniority doesn't love them. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing like that, Gabriel.
Huh?
With one hand, Maria squeezes the sacred artifact into which Yakov's memories had been collected. She squeezes just hard enough to break the skin, causing a thin veneer of red to dye her hand. What I saw were memories unknown to the world representatives. These are memories from backstage, you might say. Huh? What did she see? What did Yakov see? Jacob Yakov, whatever you call him. Some time ago, a certain truth was brought to the attention of Arathan and his friends by one Azizoth. That truth stated that at some point or another, every person in Tokyo has made moves to harm Arathan. Were this a murder mystery novel, this would be a reveal akin to learning the entire town was on murder. The world representatives all understand one thing. It is they who are responsible for the world looping. When the trophy they all strive for is no longer present, the game restarts, beginning a new loop. Okay, so that is the conditions for the loop. I mean, one of the conditions anyways. That is the power they have as world representatives. They represent the majority, so they can wield the power of that majority. And they truly do hold that power, except that only holds true when the stage is viewed from the front. Take a look at the same stage from the back, and the show plays out very differently from what the world representatives perceive. And the way it plays out is something none of them see. Or rather, in principle, it's something none of them are capable of seeing. No one can view the same object from the front and the back at the same time, not even the game's major players. But Yakov can see. But there are certainly those who are not players in this game at all, yet still watch the show. This includes those who serve as administrators, as well as those like Yakov, who's taken to Roman freely. And it also includes Kirito and Mononobe, those who've been backstage since the very beginning. I don't know what name to go for Jacob, because apparently the way you pronounce his name in Hebrew is Yaakov. You may be a great actor, Christine, but I dare say you've reached the limits of what you can do in the villain role, no? Come, Worm! Let's finish this quickly as a pair. I ain't he cute. Not this, Beowulf. You claim I am playing heel and doing whatever strikes my fancy. But it is that not exactly what you're doing as well, and attempting to cut down the trophy and bring about the next loop? Depending on your perspective,
one cannot confidently say who the villain is here, nor even whether the show is comedy or tragedy. For those of us standing upon the stage, we can never truly know how we appear to the audience beholding our actions.
It just sounds like to me you're making excuses, Christine.
On the contrary, I'm simply anticipating the momentary arrival of the reinforcements I've been so impatiently awaiting. There he is. Out of Mazda. That was an interesting sound effect.
What?
Welcome. I've been expecting you, trusted ally to the entertainers. You, who embody justice and righteousness, world representative of Mid-Earth, Ahura Mazda. Okay, I guess that's it. Just to confirm. Yep, show must go on. That is the next episode, which you are not doing today. Let's go ahead and head to our guild. Hey, Chorong! So, that's it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. So we did cover quite a bit today. Actually, honestly, it's a bit confusing what we even covered. And really, so what we know now is there is an in-between world that is not the plane of Nayeli. It seems to be where people who lose their roles go to. So Quantum, us, and it seems, what's it called? After making the exceptions actually haven't done anything. They kind of has just been standing there. So honestly, it seems like, I don't know why they want the exceptions. It seems that the Oscar and Loki need to meet up with them is the main goal. I'm not sure if they're specifically referring to Overlord. Most likely just to Solomon, honestly. I don't know who even cares about Overlord, but it'll be interesting how that turns out. But yeah, it seems, what was the more important thing here? It seems to be more of a side thing in terms of the overarching story. I mean, it seems maybe it's important over beyond this chapter, but more in a minor way, which is there's going to be some sort of guild affiliation thing across some sort of membership system. At least that's what's implied. And it seems they're inviting people from other events to join in. So nice validation to see these characters actually existing in main quest now. They are finally alive for those who have been waiting all this time. Big Brother Nobumichi. We did see a bit of him too. Oh yeah, Horus and Ahura Mazda, they have their own little kerfuffle. I guess that means Horus lost. Oh man, I like Horus. That's a piece Horus. Because they were battling just a moment ago, so Ahura must have split from him after beating him. But yeah, it seems that what's even going on? The entertainers wanted to remove us from stage and make us the audience for who was previously the audience is now on stage. So a bit of a reversal there. They're keeping us away from wherever Kirito and Bigfoot may be. In the chapter 13, they hid them in the exception themselves, which is a pretty interesting way to hide them from resolution. I'm not exactly sure where they've hidden Kirito and Bigfoot. Maybe they're within Overlord right now, but who even knows at this point, really. And it seems that they're conquering different realms right now, but not through just enforced belief systems, through what's it called? Forcing everyone to flood them with numbers. That's interesting now I think about it. Both the warmongers and the invaders, they enacted their plans through memory manipulation, which is, kind of like brainwashing in itself. But the Rule Makers took a different approach in terms of just trying to brainwash everyone. Just like Isifrel, it wasn't really brainwashing, it was more like complete overtaking the body. Well, not really in this case. It seems like their method of doing that was to force everyone to use the app or something, or to just follow the instructions. I believe that's what the gist of it was. Not entirely sure what the intention is. It seems mostly just things that they tried to set the stage for. We didn't know too much, but we do know where people are going right now. So Oscar, Loki, are headed towards Solomon right now. Christine is just finding part-time, and Game Masters are trying to wrangle this. We're just like, where even the fuck are we? Who even knows what the summoners are up to? We haven't seen any of the other summoners. They're just doing their own thing after we got sent here. We don't know where Bigfoot and Kirito is, and yeah, it did seem mostly just to be a Maria and episode when it comes to them talking about the infant past. We learn more about the gurus. I think that's the biggest takeaway of this. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful time watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, same time as usual. Who knows how long it'll take. Today it took 2 hours, yesterday it took 3 hours, so it really just depends on how well I can perform these and what the content entails. But yeah, that's all for now, cuties. Catch you next time!